It's shocking, but many organizations don't have a test environment. Now, I didn't have one when I first started out either, but I quickly saw how important it was to be able to experiment and learn without impacting production data. You need a place to see how your changes work with real-life scenarios. Here's an example Jira server application. I've used multiple methods to identify that this is a test environment. I changed the header color so it's a different color than in production. I added an announcement banner at the top, and I changed the application's display name to test. I also changed my avatar icon so it's different when I log in. Some organizations also changed the application logo. Do whatever you need to do to be able to distinguish between multiple applications. Here are some additional tips for your test environment. Disable email to avoid notifying end users with duplicate or fake data. Next, I recommend matching your test environment settings to production as much as possible, and use this environment to test the impact of major configuration changes, app installs, and maintenance activities. Here's a bonus tip for Jira Server and Data Center. Get read-only access to the Jira database. Understanding how the data is structured will solve a lot of mysteries and make you a better admin. You'll be able to access additional data that's not available in the UI. So here's an example. Before I delete a project or a custom field, I always check the rec content database table to see which saved queries utilize that information. If I delete the JSC project, for example, I can see that 5 filters are impacted and will break. With this information, I can ask the filter owners to update their JQL or delete any unneeded filters, and if I'm feeling especially nice, I take temporary control of the filters and update them for the owners. You'll find the ability to change filter and dashboard owners in the System Admin area. Here are some test environment options for cloud customers using the Atlassian hosted environment. There's a built-in sandbox in Premium and Enterprise plans. Now, this is an isolated environment to test and experiment without changing real data. The Sandbox application has the same user limit as the production application that it's linked to. The Sandbox has its own URL, which is similar to the production URL. To create a sandbox, log in as a Cloud Organization Administrator at admin.atlassian.com. Click the products link at the top and click Sandbox on the left sidebar. If you have Cloud Premium or Enterprise, you'll see a Create button at the top right. Once the sandbox is created, you can automatically copy production data to it for information that can't be copied. Import it or create it manually like you do in any other environment. Read more about the sandbox feature at the URL shown. If you're an Atlassian Marketplace developer, sign up for a free development instance. Developer access is subject to the Atlassian developer terms, which is separate from the regular terms of service. This license is limited to 5 users. Read more about it at developer.atlassian.com next. You can create a second application and just pay for a few users. There's also a free version of Cloud. It's just like the paid version, except it includes less capabilities. It doesn't include project or issue permissions, so it won't help you test any of those areas. That's why I prefer the previous ideas. Next, you can start a new free trial. Now, this is helpful if you're testing the features of a different cloud plan and don't want to upgrade or downgrade the live application. And if you have no better option, create a test project in the production application. For data center customers hosting their own software, there's also a free license for development and testing purposes. Have your technical contact log into my.atlassian.com to generate the dev license. Make sure test environment settings match the production environment as much as possible. Don't forget to include reverse proxies, SSL, or load balancer settings. There's also a 30-day free trial available. And if you have no better option, create a test project in prod. Regardless of the method you choose, make sure you have a place to test your changes before you unleash them on your users. Atlassian offers free versions of their cloud products. Let's sign up for a free Jira application so we can experiment. First, log into your Atlassian account at my.atlassian.com. Then visit the URL shown, choose Jira from the list of free products, and complete the sign-up form. Then complete the setup process by clicking a verification link sent by email. If you don't see the message, be sure to check your junk mail folder. Once your instance is ready, sign in and complete the setup wizard for Data Center. Atlassian has getting started guides for AWS and Microsoft Azure. Here's the general setup process for Data Center. First, have your technical contact log into my.atlassian.com. Find Jira in the product list and a link named View Developer License. Then copy the dev license key. Now you won't see this link if you have a starter, community, or open license. Then visit the URL shown to use the platform installation guides or download an installer from Atlassian's archives. You can install Jira on an on-prem server, in Cloud Data Center, or on your local machine. Next, run the installer or start the setup in your environment. Here's a tip. Jira comes with an embedded H2 testing database. Use it or connect to your own test database. Just don't connect to the production database. Once the application starts up, apply the license. In the admin area, visit Admin, Applications, Versions and Licenses, and then paste in the dev key.